My name is Raymond Karchevsky. I am a living Christ. Today I should like to speak to you about the legacy of this living Christ to a world of satanic furor. All of you whom I have interacted with in my 82 years on this earth, I ask you, did any of you get the message? How many of you paid attention? How many of you have applied the simple energy of this living Christ, this simple man of truth, to your lives, and have lifted yourselves from the pit of depression? That is the result of living trapped in one's own dualistic opposites of a trained satanic intellect. My work is over. What you see now on the screen of this computer is a man who has changed remarkably since his physicality, following a stroke that was experienced some 2 months ago. Having to learn how to speak all over again after the total inability to understand my own words as I spoke them was quite an undertaking. However, remnants of the damaged speech pattern and partial paralysis on the left side of my face are still discernible. So what you see now is an old man facing the inevitable, as we all are, but yet he finds life to be an extraordinary experience that does not bring on the usual reactions to the deterioration of the physical being, the body, through its satanic indoctrinated beliefs that are being imposed upon all of us through remote hypnotic conditioning, like the coronavirus scam, which changes the parameters of their enslaved existences and creates a world of regimentation guaranteed to remain and not return to the freedom of the old days. I, personally, at 82, have lived life here in America in the best of times. And now we are approaching the worst of times. Our freedoms are being taken away from us. Inwardly, spiritually, this living man is fresh and alive as the morning spring. That's the nature of the spirit, the non-dualistic essence that is within all, including you, each and every one of you. We are all fortified with that renewable spirit of truth. That has been the message that I have brought to each of you, that you are not your body, you are not your mind. You are the creative spirit of this infinite intelligence, which is the creator of the quality of your own personal lives. I have proven that with the stroke that I underwent 2 months ago. I've always pointed out to you that I am not my body, nor am I my mind, but that eternal spirit, everlasting, beyond time and space, that is the essence of infinite intelligence, found only in the balance of one who approaches life in the balance of the subconscious mind, the non-dualistic mind, and the conscious dualistic, satanically ruled, programmable, indoctrinated intellect, that which is formed by hypnosis, a mass state, either by the education system, or government, or religion. These are the institutions that have controlled man's mind since the beginning of time. And that's what's behind all of your woes, your lack of freedom that you're now experiencing with these lockdowns, with this phony, and I use phony in the sense that it has not been proven. What you are seeing is nothing more than a lot of theory concerning this coronavirus. It's all speculative. They have yet to determine that the virus itself are responsible for the many, many recorded deaths that have taken place, and not because of other attendant health problems that are accrued to old age. I think in time that will be proven to be the case. In the meantime, you are being bombarded with a massive PSYOP operation, mind control, satanic mind control operation that is speculative about the cause of the coronavirus. You see, nothing is sure, nothing is certain about that. Yet, the New World Order, the elitists who seek to create a new kind of government, worldwide government, is busy with worldwide actions that are taken, the lockdowns worldwide, the spacing, 6-foot spacing, keeping people apart from one another, all creating fear. And fear is the element that always is attendant to controlling behavior, modifying behavior. Understand? All of these things are coming about, and when the lockdown is over and they begin to open up again, millions of people will have their lives destroyed. They will have lost their homes. They will have lost their means of earning a living. They will be unemployed. And they're dangled with stimulus checks, promises of temporary respite from their inevitable poverty. That's what's going on here. And most of you, millions of you, are quite unaware of it. Why? Because you're all conditioned. You have been trained to rely upon authority to do your thinking for you, and you follow blindly. And that is your enslavement. That's what this coronavirus is bringing you, further enslavement. to the point where our world will change. Do you understand, while this is going on, while the clear actions of restriction of freedoms, liberties are going on, attendant to the coronavirus, the building of the 5G towers, which truly is a massive threat to life on Earth, goes on unimpeded because of the distraction of the coronavirus. And I think one will find, ultimately, that that is what is the cause of the many deaths, aside from the old age established health problems. It is the radiation of the 5G that is causing the recent deaths. And yet, that goes on being built. No one interferes with that. Wake up, people. You are the power. You are the government. All they are your employees who are hired to do your bidding by your own consent. Withdraw your consent, they have no authority. The police have no authority. You understand? You can change all that by virtue of understanding that you are not slaves. Stand up, speak, indicate to government to change their ways, or you will boycott them. You will withdraw your support, your energy, your money, your taxes, your tithing. And let them see then who has the power. That's the legacy that this 82-year-old living Christ is leaving you. You're free men. You're free women. You have unalienable rights granted you by the spirit of infinite intelligence that you call God. You are that essence of God. You have a direct link with Him. You do not have a separate theory of division between you and that creator that you call God. That's dualism. That's satanic mind control. The fact is that you are the God of your own life. You are the creator of your own life. You therefore are responsible for the actions that you create and the quality that you experience with your life. That's the truth. And that's what most of you become aggravated about when spoken to by this living Christ. He speaks responsibility, and you want to be children, to be taken care of, to have authority do your thinking for you. Doesn't work that way. That's not why you're here on this earth. And the sooner you learn that, the better it shall be. See, this is the message that I have brought to you for these past 25 years of this living Christ's public life. How many of you got it? Death is merely a dimensional transition. I do not fear death, for I have not feared life. If you will visit my website, arkenterprises.com, and read of my experiences with government and how I have stood up to them and exposed the satanic courts of our land as having no jurisdiction over living men. When I went through 2 trials, They convicted the fictional person created by birth certification, but that wasn't me. And throughout the trials, I stood sui juris, a free, living, breathing, flesh and blood man. And I challenged the courts to have the evidence to show that they had jurisdiction over this thing. They could not. They could not show jurisdiction. So in the outcome of the trials, though I was convicted, I refused to accept the verdicts, and they released me with no charges over my head. In that moment, I proved that all living men and all living women who have not consented to belonging to artificial, fictional organizations, such as government, such as 14th Amendment citizens, are beyond man's law, word law. Understand? That's where your confusion comes in. You worship words. Words are fictions within your own intellectual mind, so they have no power over you, because you are truth. You are beyond that intellectual mind. My writings and my videos, hundreds of them, show that non-dualistic living energy daily to you. I have not engaged in intellectual seminars, nor philosophies, nor belief systems, be they religious or governmental, for those are all satanic fictions which rule over the consciousness of hellbound, dead persons, citizens, goyim, human resources, which apply to all intellectually afflicted, dead automatons, and damn near all of you. Why would I say such a thing to you at this time of my life? I don't wish to harm you. I don't wish to insult you, because I live a world of do no harm and tell no lies. And there's the rub. You folks aren't used to living in truth. You love the lie. You love the fawning of each other, the creation of masks worn by each of you, pretending to be something that you are not. You will note that I don't pander to your egos, to your illusions. I don't feed you lies which make you feel good. Why don't I pleasure you in your fantasies? After all, you've become accustomed to such character-destroying tactics, since you have been trained to expect such feedback, clear back to your childhood, school indoctrination days. Look at how such a limited, trained world has turned out. You're all dependent upon a dead system for your security, for your self-worth. Your life force has been stripped away from you by your own consent. Then it is dangled before you as some governmental gift called stimulation checks. They have broken your spirit. They have destroyed your means of earning a living yourself, of being self-sufficient, of becoming more and more dependent, and therefore much easier to control. Everything that you have lived for, you have worked for, and that you are willing to die for, reflecting your own self-worth as and is being taken away from you based on such intellectual, illusory theories, clearly unproven. Yet, still it allows for a fictional government which exists only in your intellect to strip away your rights, your wealth, your freedom, and your lives with words. Pass backward, wouldn't you say? Stand up like the living, breathing, flesh and blood men that you are, the masters of your destiny. Start boycotting government, criminal government. Start putting these people in jail. Start executing some of your so-called leaders who have betrayed you, have committed treason, have gone against the very concept of freedom, the constitutional government. Make no mistake, there's a war going on. At the present time, you're losing it, unless you wake up. Thank you.